Welcome to Malcolm and Kate's Tall Tales podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to another deep dive. And today we're going on an adventure.
Oh, an adventure! Sounds exciting.
It is, especially if you love cats, beaches, and maybe even a little bit of mischief. We're diving into Jerry the Cat's Big Beach Adventure.
All right, so we've got the book itself, right?
The whole story. Plus, you sent over some marketing stuff from Amazon and Barnes & Noble, which I'm always fascinated to see how they spin things.
Oh, that is interesting, yeah.
But wait, there's more.
More.
A clip of Jerry, the cat himself, from his YouTube channel. Apparently, he's quite the internet star.
Wow, a cat with a YouTube channel? Now that's something you don't see every day.
I know, right? So buckle up, because we're about to unpack all of this and see what treasures we can uncover.
Okay, I am ready.
First things first, for those who haven't had the pleasure of meeting Jerry, this book is about a cat named Jerry, who was not exactly thrilled about a family trip to the beach.
A cat who doesn't like the beach, that's kind of unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd think all that sand would be like a giant litter box, right?
I just think.
But Jerry, well, he's a creature of comfort. He'd rather be curled up in his favorite spot at home. But of course, as you can probably guess, things don't quite go according to his plan.
Oh, of course not. Where's the fun in that?
Exactly. And trust me, the way this unfolds is absolutely hilarious. But before we dive into the story itself, let's start with that YouTube clip you sent over.
You mean the one where Jerry introduces his own book?
The one and only. I mean, let's be honest, it's pretty impressive for a cat.
Oh, yeah. To sit there and talk about their book?
Right. Like, who taught him how to use a camera?
I know. And did he get a ghostwriter?
Oh, all good questions. But you can tell he's aiming for that, polished author persona, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But you can almost hear his true, slightly grumpy self kind of poking through.
Really? What gives it away?
Especially when the background music kicks in. He is not a fan.
Oh, no. Does he say something?
Oh, he totally does.
Yeah.
He actually stops mid-sentence and says, "Was that really necessary?" Anyway, my book publisher is so excited about this book that they hired the legendary Beach Boys to record a new song for the commercial. I wasn't done talking yet. Stop the music and let's start over. It's just so funny because it's like he's trying so hard to be on, but that catitude just shines through.
Oh, I love that. Classic Jerry.
What do you think this tells us about him as a character?
I think it speaks to a certain authenticity, which a lot of, well, probably everyone, but especially children can relate to.
You mean that feeling of trying to be something you're not?
Yeah, exactly. We all have those moments where we try to present this perfect image to the world, but
our true selves, with all our quirks and imperfections, kind of sneak out.
Totally. And in Jerry's case, that just makes him all the more endearing.
I totally agree. All right, so with that little glimpse into Jerry's personality, let's dive into the book itself. The story opens with Jerry being, well, let's just say he's a total homebody.
Like the ultimate stay-at-home cat.
Oh, absolutely. He actually says, "The beach sounds too sandy. I'd just rather not. I think I'll stay here where it's cozy and neat with blankets and pillows. My day is complete."
I mean, who hasn't felt that way at some point, right?
Right. Especially on a Monday morning.
Oh, tell me about it.
But there's something so relatable about that desire for comfort and familiarity, even if it means missing out on an adventure.
Absolutely. And I think for young children who often thrive on routine and predictability, Jerry's initial reluctance to embrace this new adventure is something they understand on a personal level.
Exactly. But, Jerry's family, they're not giving up that easily. They managed to coax him out of his comfort zone with promises of, building sand castles and
chasing seagulls.
Oh, definitely chasing seagulls. And to Jerry's surprise, when he actually arrives at the beach, he is completely captivated.
Oh.
It's not what he expected at all.
So the beach becomes more than just a setting then?
I think so. It transforms into this space of discovery, a place where all of Jerry's preconceived notions are challenged, and his world expands beyond the confines of his cozy home.
It's almost like a metaphor, wouldn't you say?
Oh,
for personal growth, for venturing into the unknown and finding something unexpected.
I love that you brought that up, the idea of the beach being a metaphor. Mm-hmm. It makes you think about what other beaches we might encounter in our own lives.
Oh, that is interesting. Like what?
Those experiences that push us outside of our comfort zones and, in a way, force us to grow, whether we want to or not.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like starting a new job or moving to a new city.
Exactly. Or even just, trying a new hobby.
Yeah. Taking a cooking class or something.
Anything that requires us to adapt, to learn new skills, and to kind of confront our own fears and limitations.
Right. Yeah, those can definitely feel like beaches.
And in Jerry's case, this particular beach leads to some pretty hilarious encounters.
Oh, so what happens? What kind of encounters?
Well, that's what we're about to find out.
So those beaches, those things that push us outside our comfort zones, what do you think Jerry thought he was getting into when he agreed to this beach trip?
Oh, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of the book, Jerry's all about his routine. Comfy bed, predictable day, absolutely no surprises. But then, boom, there he is at the beach. And it's like complete sensory overload.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, yeah. There's this line in the book where he sees the ocean for the first time and says, "This is the biggest litter box I've ever seen."
Oh my gosh, stop. That's hilarious.
Right. It's funny, but it also shows how he's trying to make sense of this new world,
Yeah.
by using what he already knows.
That's such a great observation. He's taking something completely unfamiliar, like this vast ocean, and he's relating it back to his own experiences.
His own little cat world.
Right. And I think we all do that, whether we realize it or not. We try to fit new experiences into our existing frameworks.
It's like trying to shove a square peg into a round hole.
Mm.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it's a disaster.
And sometimes it leads to hilarious results, like Jerry thinking the ocean is a giant litter box.
Exactly. But speaking of hilarious, let's talk about those seagulls. They're a classic example of a challenge that Jerry has to overcome, right?
Oh, absolutely. They represent those unexpected obstacles that life throws at us,
Yeah, you can plan and prepare all you want, but there are always going to be those things that just pop up out of nowhere and try to disrupt our plans.
Yeah.
Or in Jerry's case, steal his pizza.
Wait, so he brought pizza to the beach?
Oh, yeah, he's got this amazing cooler packed full of cheesy pizza and ice cream, the works. And those seagulls catch a whiff of it. And, oh, man, they are relentless.
Oh, no, I can imagine.
They are swooping and squawking. And at one point, they even managed to, snag a few slices.
Oh, no, poor Jerry. It's like that classic struggle for resources, isn't it?
It is.
And it makes you think, how do we deal with those who seem to want what we have? Do we fight for it? Do we just give in? Or is there, another way?
Well, and that's where Jerry's cleverness comes in.
Oh. What does he do?
Instead of trying to fight those seagulls head on, he comes up with this brilliant, but I gotta say slightly sneaky plan.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
He starts flinging scoops of ice cream all over the beach.
Wait, really?
Yep, ice cream everywhere. What do you think about that strategy?
That's a good question. I mean, is it sharing or is it a clever manipulation to get what he wants?
Right. It's fascinating how a seemingly simple act like sharing ice cream can have all these layers of meaning. And it kind of makes me wonder, are there times in our own lives where we've shared something not necessarily out of pure altruism, but as a way to kind of achieve a certain outcome?
Oh, that's something to think about for sure. But either way, it sounds like it worked for Jerry.
Oh, it totally did. In the end, he gets to enjoy his pizza in peace, and the seagulls get a pretty tasty treat.
So a win-win situation.
Exactly. Even if it wasn't achieved in the most straightforward way. But Jerry's beach adventure isn't just about outsmarting seagulls and securing a delicious lunch. It's also about these subtle shifts in perspective. Those moments of growth that might not be immediately apparent, but kind of leave a lasting impact.
I completely agree. Think about the ending of the book.
Where he goes back to his comfy bed.
Yes. He curls up and he's dreaming of waves. It's a small detail, but it suggests that the experience has really stayed with him like the beach has seeped into his subconscious. He's not the same cat who left for the beach that morning.
That's such a beautiful observation. It's like the beach, even with all its chaos and unexpected encounters, has left its mark on him. He's expanded his horizons both literally and figuratively.
I love that.
But while Jerry's beach adventure is coming to a close, our deep dive is far from over. We still have to explore how this delightful story is being presented to the world.
Oh, you mean the marketing stuff?
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting. We've got those details from Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And what's so fascinating is that they seem to be emphasizing different aspects of the story, appealing to different reader motivations. It's a clever strategy, and it reveals a lot about how publishers try to, target specific audiences. So, are you ready to see how Amazon and Barnes & Noble are pitching this beach adventure?
Let's do it. Always interesting to see how they try to hook the readers,
Oh, absolutely. It's marketing 101, but for books.
Right.
First off, let's talk prices.
Okay, prices are always important.
It looks like Barnes & Noble has a slight edge at $7.99
Compared to...
compared to Amazon's $8.99. So not a huge difference, but hey, a dollar is a dollar, right?
Yeah, that's true. Especially if you're buying for kids, those book costs can add up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But beyond the price, what really caught my eye is the language they use in those descriptions.
Oh, right, how they actually describe the book itself.
Exactly. Amazon really plays up the humor and the excitement, particularly with the seagull encounter.
Seagulls, right?
Their description actually says, packed with playful rhymes, colorful beachside fun, and a clever solution to an unexpected problem, this delightful tale will leave readers laughing and craving a slice of adventure.
Okay, so they're going for that fun, lighthearted vibe.
Oh, totally. But Barnes & Noble takes a slightly different approach. They're focusing more on those heartwarming aspects and themes of quick thinking and sharing.
Oh, interesting. So a bit more of a focus on, values.
Yeah. Their description reads, perfect for fans of seaside escapades and heartwarming stories, Jerry the Cat's Big Beach Adventure is a tale of quick thinking, sharing, and making the most of a sunny day by the shore.
So it's subtle, but it's like they're suggesting there's kind of a moral lesson woven into this story.
Right. And it makes you wonder, what kind of reader are they trying to appeal to with each description?
That's a great question. Maybe they're trying to target different kinds of parents.
I think so. Like maybe Barnes & Noble's going for the parents who are looking for books that not only entertain, but also, teach their kids a little something about life.
Exactly. It's fascinating how even something as simple as a children's book involves so much strategy when it comes to, figuring out who you're selling it to.
Right. But okay, remember how we talked about that discrepancy in the publisher information?
Yeah, I think so. What was that again?
Well, on Amazon, it says it's published by Amazon Original Stories.
Yeah.
But on Barnes & Noble, it says it's published by Sunny Day Books.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember now. And the PDF said something else, right?
Exactly. In the PDF, the copyright holder is listed as Carrington International, LLC. So I've got 3 different names in the mix here.
Wow, that's really interesting.
I did a little digging.
Okay, yeah, you're like the deep dive detective.
Just trying to get to the bottom of this publishing mystery. And it turns out Carrington International actually seems to be the parent company. So they might have licensed the book to both Amazon and Barnes & Noble under different imprints.
So it's like those food companies that have tons of different brands that people don't realize are all owned by the same big company.
Exactly. Or, maybe Carrington International handles the printing and distribution while Amazon and Barnes & Noble just focus on the marketing and sales side of things.
Oh, that makes sense. It's complicated.
It is. But honestly, for the average reader, do you think this discrepancy really matters?
Probably not. I think most people are way more concerned with the story itself, is it well written? Will their kids enjoy it? That kind of thing.
Totally. But it is kind of fascinating to get a peek behind the curtain and see how the whole publishing world works, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's like a whole other story happening behind the scenes.
It is. It's like a whole other deep dive waiting to happen. But for now, we've covered a lot of ground. We've explored Jerry's character, talked about the beach as a metaphor, admired his very clever problem-solving skills, and even taken a look at the complexities of book publishing. What's the biggest thing that stands out to you from all of this?
Well, for me, it's that reminder that there's always more than meets the eye. Whether it's a children's book, a marketing campaign, or even our own experiences, there are always layers of meaning to unpack if we're willing to look, And that's what makes exploration so much fun.
I totally agree. And I think Jerry's journey embodies that spirit of exploration so well. He starts out hesitant and clinging to his routine, but he ends up embracing the unknown and discovering this whole new world of possibilities.
Exactly.
And who knows what adventures await him next? Maybe a trip to the mountains, a daring escape from the vet, or even a culinary adventure at a cat cafe.
Oh, the possibilities are endless.
The possibilities are endless. Well, on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Jerry the Cat's Big Beach Adventure. I hope you've enjoyed this journey as much as we have.
It's been a blast.
And if you haven't already, be sure to check out this delightful book for yourself. You might be surprised by what you discover.
And don't forget to subscribe to Jerry's YouTube channel. Who knows what other antics he might be up to.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.